live, but my mouse does not want to work again.
Take the cover off, and roll the battery a little bit.
I did, I changed the battery. That's the bad part.
Matt, don't you have any hints for?
Nope. Yeah. Good 5 more minutes.
I need a new mouse. There we go, there we go, there we go.
See, it pays to have an IT guy on.
All right, we're all set. Thank you.
Good evening and welcome to the March 8th meeting of the Zoning Board of Appeals. Let me explain to you how this meeting works. You are here asking us to take an existing zoning rule and change it for you because it causes you particular difficulties. We are going to ask you to explain those difficulties that it costs you and why you are here asking for the variance. Even though it's in here, we need to have you say it verbally so the court reporter can hear it and record it. The meeting works that I will read the variance. We will ask you to come to the podium and give your name and address and tell us what the difficulties are with the variance, the zoning law as it currently resides at your home. And then we will talk about, the board will ask you questions. We will then go into a private where we'll just discuss it among ourselves and you'll stay right there and you'll listen, you'll hear what we say. We'll come back out. We'll ask for a motion and we'll take a vote and you will know immediately whether or not your request for your variance has been granted. Should it not be granted, you have the option of going to the Court of Common Pleas. Should it be granted, then you have to work with our delightful planning director and secure all of the permits that you need to go ahead with it. All right, now, since you're going to be testifying, I'm assuming, and since you're the only person here, I'm assuming it's you. Would you like to stand and raise your right hand, please? You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Thank you.
I do too.
Okay, you can have a seat. Just a minute. We're going to approve the minutes of the February 8th meeting. Gentlemen, do I have a motion for approval?
So moved. Seconded.
Did you say that? Wait, Chris did?
Chris
Dave
made
seconded.
it and Davidson. Is there any discussion? If not, will the secretary call the roll, please?
Sorry. That's me, isn't it?
Yeah, that's you, Matt. You get points for fixing the.
Judy Ennis,
But yes.
Hobart Johnson,
Yes.
Rod Noble,
Yes.
Chris Ostrowski.
Yes.
David Flieger.
Yes.
Chase Sockman.
Yes.
Matt Bostorff. Yes.
Thank you. We have one request tonight for variance and it's Faith Elsa, 338 West Mary Avenue has requested a variance to allow the construction of a 6-foot tall fence in the 25-foot front yard setback corner lot. Fence would be in the front yard that faces West Mary Avenue, which would be 2 feet taller than the 4-foot maximum allowed. Ms. Elsa? I'm going to ask the city to explain the current existing rule, and then you can go up and testify, okay? Heather?
Yes, thank you.
And you can see the screen right there. We can.
Okay, so under section 150.91 of the zoning code, the section about fences, a fence erected on a lot line or within a setback may not exceed in height the following. Under B, 4 feet when placed within a required front yard setback, but must not be installed in such a manner as to violate section 150.05. That is a visibility triangle, and that doesn't apply in this scenario. The actual minimum setback comes from section 150.16, the bulk and density regulations. This property is zoned R2 single family, and you can see the front yard we circled there is a minimum 25 feet. This is a corner lot, so you have Fairview and then West Mary. So again, right on the corner there. So we're talking about not the section of fencing that would be the Fairview area. It would be the one on the East Mary portion. Using pictometry, here is the front of the home that you can see. So you can kind of see the existing fence is already there. She does wish to replace that, but it's the 4 foot that currently exists there lined up with the house. Here's the side of the home. You can see the fenced area a little better there. And then here is the other front portion along Fairview. And then there's the rear. Here's a picture of the front of the home. And here's a picture towards the fencing again, that's currently 4 feet tall. There's a better look there. There's looking down the sides. You can see that natural transition that was approved before on a fence permit. Again, to be that 4-foot max in the 25 feet, and then it can go up to the 6 foot when you get past that 25-foot minimum. We had 2 sketches in your packet. So this shows highlighted the whole entire fencing that she wishes to be 6 feet. But then the next sketch is highlighted where the actual variance would apply for that 6 feet in height. I think we gave you copies of those sketches along with the application, an aerial view. And then this property did have some prior variances, again, just an FYI for the board's information. So in the memo dated February 17th, 2023, we gave you a copy of the variance approved on June 9th, 1993 to allow the construction of a deck, which will encroach 19 feet into the required 30-foot rear yard setback. And then another variance on May 10th of 2000, a variance was approved to allow the construction of a single-family dwelling that would encroach into the average front yard setback along Fairview Avenue, the side yard setback on the east side, and 16 feet into the required 30-foot rear yard setback on the north side. This new house replaces a single-family dwelling destroyed by fire. So again, gave you copies of both of those applications and the zoning board approval. As far as adjoining property owners, we did receive 1 letter. I have a copy here that I will give you. I will read this into the record. This was emailed to me on Thursday, March 2nd, 2023 at 1:29 PM from Stacy Zamarippa. I apologize if I'm saying that wrong. And it was, let's see, good, it says, "Good afternoon, Heather. Attached you will find the letter of my concern. I appreciate your time with this matter and hope that we can find a proper solution. Thank you very much." And she writes in the attached letter, "To whom it may concern, I am writing with the concerns of Faith Elsia's variance and motion to raise and move her fence. My concern is not with the height of the fence, however, more so the moving of the fence without having the property surveyed and seeing where the property lines are located for not only her property at 338 West Mary Avenue, but also for my property at 704 Fairview Avenue. I feel that where she believes her property line is happens to be one of my parcels of property and could potentially block a water release line and proper ventilation for my house. I am only writing this to ensure that the fence is placed where it is properly supposed to be, to ensure if in the future I plan to sell this property, it does not get placed where it is not supposed to be. I appreciate the council hearing my concerns and welcome any feedback that could be given to me and my neighbor to grant a welcoming neighborhood. Thank you for your time. Sincerely, Stacy Zamarippa, 704 Fairview Avenue, Bowling Green, Ohio." And then she leaves her email. So I did read, we did put it in the newspaper of general circulation as required, and we sent notices to all of the property owners that are adjacent. So all the procedure requirements for the hearing have been met.
Thank you. That's fine. Okay, you want to start off by your name and address, please?
My name is Faith Elsie at 338 West Mary. And I just heard my life go in front of me since the fall of, or the 5 days before Christmas in 1999, when my house burned down. And then I have the house that I have now, which is a great home, and I want to stay there. Now, I can tell you, I can read. Do I need to read this, or can I just summarize it?
You can summarize it.
Okay, I think that's even better. Okay, the reason I'm asking for that 6-foot high constructed fence in the front is due to the fact that in one very early morning, 3 men came up my driveway across the little piece of concrete that joins the 2 driveways and then down the other driveway. When the sidewalk goes straight in front of my house, I don't know why they felt the need to come and walk up my driveway. But I called the police, I told them, and they saw the video. And they just suggested that there are certain things that I do that help protect it, like lights come on the corner of the house. I've done that. I have a ring button,
The
you
doorbell,
know,
ring
so I can
doorbell.
get pictures, and that's where the video came from. And so I've done all those kind of things, but I can tell you that I'm still a little concerned because, and I told you about my experience with people drinking and using my lawn for their drinking and throwing their debris there. So I'm just trying to protect myself. My husband died in June. And so just how I can do that and feel safe in my home. And as I have more and more opportunities for people to purchase alcohol pretty close to my home. And I just think of all of that. And I think that when you see how such a little bit of space, and I could talk to Stephanie because Stephanie and I had talked about putting the thing on the lot line. That because we own the house that Stephanie now lives in. At one time, I bought the property from Bill Fox in the 70s. And so, you know, we've lived there a long time. And what happened when that house burned down is that the little house behind me, the water and the gas lines and went into that home. And so when we had the fire, there was no water going anywhere, that the city came in and put water lines and gas lines for that little house to help the people who owned the home. And when I was looking at it, and I just talked to Stephanie just the other day, and I said that because of the water lines and so forth that are in part of the property behind my fence that belongs to me, but the water lines are also on my property and also on hers, that I said, I'm only going to take it as far as the gate, the current gate in the back, because I'm not going to have a gate in the back. I don't want people entering my property either from the back or from the front. I'll have a gate in the front, but I'll manage that. But there will be no gate in the back, and that will help to protect the property, help protect her water lines. And so I think Stephanie can go be assured that the property is secure and her property is secure, because I know that they want to sell that property eventually. And I want to make it so that it's a good buy and they'll feel comfortable living, you know, next door to me. I've had people live next door to me a long time. And so how do we make that amenable for anybody who wants to live there? So I think that we can. So the drawing has come a little bit different because it's no longer all the way across the back. The fence will be 6 feet tall, but it won't go all the way to the property line except where the gate is. And there's over 5 feet difference between where the gate structure is and where their little house begins. So we're in compliance with that rule. And so she doesn't have to worry about that because I've already made that decision long before I ever had any notice that Stephanie had some concerns about that. But the property line has been validated and it will continue to be that way.
Does anybody have any questions?
The only thing you mentioned is that you maybe made some changes to the drawing. So is this drawing correct as presented by the contractor that's going to be doing the work? Is this an accurate drawing?
It is, except it's not going on the property line all the way to the west. It's going to stop probably
At the
Let me
edge of
see.
the house there, or
Can you-
no, it's right there. It shows it right there.
3 foot.
Yeah. That's the gate. And that's where it's going to,
so it's accurate then.
it
Okay.
is
I just wanted to
accurate.
make sure that we didn't approve something that wasn't correct on the.
It's been so long,
Drawing.
I've forgotten exactly how, I didn't bring the drawings with me, but
Okay.
next time I'll remember to do that. Oh, there may not be a next time.
How long ago did you talk to the police and install the security lighting and whatever else you did?
I did that within a month of talking to the officer.
When was that?
Oh, gosh. I didn't write that down, but it was probably in January.
Of this year?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's been within the last few months or in December. It was it was in a very short period of time. Cause I know that my nephew came up, I take that back because they were up here at Thanksgiving and it happened before Thanksgiving. And when my nephew came, he put those lights up. So it was at Thanksgiving. So it was within a month of when, because it happened on one day. I called the police the next day and they were there that day.
No problem since then.
With people coming up? Well, I haven't had people just walk up my drive and down. You know, there's been, you know, there's a lot of other stuff that kind of goes on sometimes in our neighborhood and, you know, and so it's just, but it's not really. And you never know. You never know. I thought, gosh, maybe they're trying to get some wood off my front porch because I do a wood burner. And I thought, well, gosh, they want to help themselves to my wood. So I kind of went out and checked and they hadn't touched that. They just walked through rather than just walking on the sidewalk. And why people do that stuff, I don't know.
Any further questions, comments? I will say that I was kind of horrified when I saw that back in 1993. I was on this board. I must have been very young at that time, but
Of course.
I
we
do
all were.
remember when you came and got a variance right for your new house. And I remarked that you made just always stuck with me. You said that at the night of the fire, you went to a local hotel for the night. And then the desk clerk asked you if you wanted smoking or non-smoking room. And you just thought that was so ironic that you just. been in
That's
a
right. I told them that we'd had enough smoking for the
Yeah.
day. Yes.
That just always stuck with me, so. All right, if there's no further questions, then I'm going to close the public hearing and you may have a seat if
Thank
you'd
you.
like to. And is there any discussion? Comments?
We're only approving.
They're only approving
small
that strip.
section.
Yep,
The
that's all.
concern
we're
of this
approving.
being on the wrong property.
Is not anything that we're doing.
to do
This is
with
what
this.
all of, the only variance is for
Simple
that
matter.
small. That small iris, so that's.
I feel like the last few months that everybody who lives on a corner lot wants to build a fence that exceeds the height of the front yard. I know you expressed that last time, Hobie. It's hard for me because it is a small thing. I agree that you're such a delightful lady and I would hate to say no to you, but I'm starting to get concerns about all these height restriction variances. I know that the new code is consistent with the old code as
For
it's,
that part it is.
as it's written and
Well, the front yard would change.
Yeah. I was
Not to
gonna
get off
say,
topic,
yeah.
but that would help correct some of this is these existing areas that do not meet the minimum setbacks,
That's
which
true.
are so great in this current zoning district that we talked about. So this would make things a lot easier because it would match the existing conditions of where a house like this is and the bit of a smaller lot size. So it would be helpful in that respect, not to get off topic, but I know that's eminent at some
Yeah.
point. So that change.
Majority of houses don't have two front yards,
Yeah.
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 Right.
Yes,
so to
yeah.
penalize them for having that corner lot is.
And I understand the fear factor of people crossing, coming over into
I do.
your yard. I really do.
Yeah.
Is there any further comments? Okay, may I have a motion, please?
Also move.
There a second?
Second.
Chris?
Hobie and Chris.
Is there any more discussion? Hearing none, I will ask the secretary to call the roll, please.
Hobie Johnson,
Yes.
Rod Noble,
yes.
Chris Ostrowski,
Yes.
Dave Fleeger,
Yes.
Jay Sockman,
Yes.
Matt Bostorff, yes. Judy Ennis.
Yes. The request for your variance has been granted. So now you need to work with Heather to get the necessary permits, okay? Okay. You all set?
Yes.
Once we get all the signed documents, we'll amend that permit and then get you a copy. I don't know, if you have your email on the application, that's how we normally do it.
You're very welcome. Okay. Well, we have lobby visitation, so you can stay and visit with us, or maybe Heather has some items she wants to bring to our attention.
I do not, unless you have questions.
Does the mayor have anything he'd like to bring to the attention? Does the council person? Yes, it is.
It's crowded. Lucky you got a chair.
Okay, may I have